Hello and welcome to yet another episode from Thinkshala. Just introducing Thinkshala to you. Thinkshala is a very passionate initiative from three or four people as a group. The idea is to enable students, or rather participants, individually to face the future. Our programs include soft skills, leadership development programs, communication skills, faculty development programs, and even digital skills. These are just a couple of programs among the others that we run. We run it both for students, for working professionals, for corporates, even for trainers and teachers. In our newly launched series, so far in the earlier episodes, we have discussed how students should start taking control of their future. We've given them a couple of tips on what to expect in the post COVID era. We've also given a couple of tips to the teachers on how to make the classroom interesting and keep it engaging. Thank you so much for all the responses so far. I think it's been fantastic to see all of you respond so well to our videos. And this time we thought we will have two people in the industry people on board. So I think that's a continuation to the earlier episodes that we have done. So we have got two key people from the industry who are with us today. And I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. So first I will go with Miss Subha H V. Mind you, both of them are from the human resource background. So Miss Subha, please welcome on board. Please introduce yourself.
Thanks, Mansi. It's really nice to be part of this platform. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shubha. I work for a company, and I handle the HR part across India. Basically, I take care of recruitment, and in a span of about 15 years into this profession, uh, I must have interviewed more than about 800 people so far. Much more than that, I would say. Yeah, this is for various positions, and we have interviewed freshers, have been part of campus recruitment. Uh, yeah, and I'm also into counseling of our staff, apart from recruitment and other activities. Basically, the HR activities is what I handle.
Thank you so much. Welcome on board. Mr.
Thank you once
Bhat,
again.
welcome on board too. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thanks, Mansi, for this opportunity as well as the wonderful platform what you are providing right now. My full name is Divaspati Bhat, having around 32 years of experience in HR. Okay, started my HR career somewhere in 89, 90, and still going great and strong. Of course, 26 years is what corporate experience is all about. I have never handled any other department than HR. 26 years with corporates, and I run since last 5.5, 6 years. I am running my own consulting in the name of DB Consulting, wherein I coach people. I am a certified coach. I am a certified personal profile analyst as well as EI specialist. At the same time, I am also a psychometric test tool professional. These are all my background, brief background about it. Got two MBAs to upgrade, specifically one in IR, one in HR, both the ways. So my focused area is into people development as well as coaching. That's my focused area as of today. Thank you very
Fantastic.
much.
Fantastic. I think that's wonderful. I think we've got a good confluence. We've got one person who's coaching people right now, and then we've got the other who's going to like rate it, saying that whether we're going to recruit them or not. So I think we'll take one step back and start off with the coaching bit. So, Mr. Bhatt, my first question to you is: see, so far I think we've seen that there are standard set of skills expected from candidates when it comes to soft skills. Probably body language, how do you communicate, and how nicely you communicate. But considering this troubled times, the pandemic times, and the COVID era, beyond this, like now that the lockdown is going to be lifted, and then probably we are all going to get back to what we were doing. What are the set
Yeah.
of skills that you would suggest that people should upgrade themselves to?
Wonderful question, actually, especially in that at this juncture. See, the set of skills may be the same, but it will take different stages or different levels. Your chronological order will keep changing. Okay. For example, in a pandemic situations like this, even the recent study says the topmost skill one person should have at this juncture is EI, emotional intelligence. The person with emotional intelligence will be able to sail smooth at these difficult times rather than getting into something else, because their stress level will be so high. No employment, no opportunities are seen or clearly visible, then they are in trouble. That's the top one. The second one is normally, as a coach or as a HR person, what I am looking at is leadership and persuasiveness. Okay, that's the second important skill one should have if
Very
he is
interesting.
looking to grow or if he is ready to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as we go on in the era of data and era of information, the third important aspect or the skill one should possess is analytical skills. See, one should be able to produce the data. At the same time, he should know what to do with the data. Otherwise, he is lost. He don't know what to take, what decision he has to take. Then it is difficult for him to survive or sustain in the market for a very long time. He will go mad with so much of information when he don't know what to do. The third important skill sets what one should possess is analytical skills. Next, as of today, based on the priority I am saying today, the next one is curiosity and learning desire, because now the world is on a reset mode. Until and unless I have got that desire to know something more and do something more and learn from so many people from the society, because once we get into reset mode, that's the best opportunity to learn. So keeping that in mind, I think curiosity and learning ability or desire to learn something new and make it happen.
Okay.
Last, fifth one,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say excellent communication, but with proper networking skills.
Okay. Okay. I
These
think
are all the
that's
five precise skills which holds good as of today,
so.
as far as my knowledge goes.
So, okay, I have this very interesting thing then. See, you're
Yeah,
talking about EI, we're talking about leadership skills, analytic skills, and the ability to unlearn and then relearn. And then we're also talking about
exactly.
networking skills. So, Shubha, my question to you in this context is people come to you with these skills. So, in this troubled times, okay, let's say you're doing the interview, what is that first question that you're going to ask? Because we're going to resume the hiring process right now, right? Recruitment process right now. So what's that first burning question that every HR member will ask somebody who's going to be recruited?
Yeah, see, when it comes to hiring freshers, as a hiring manager, we would be more interested in knowing what are the skills they possess. It could be a computer science graduate, it could be a BCom graduate. So, if they're applying for a position, do they have those basic skill sets which is required? Say, for example, say we are hiring somebody for an accountant position. How good is their computer skills? you know uh, have they learned MS Office? Now, things like Tally are little outdated. So are people, do they know about SAP technology? Do you have at least the information, or do you have the inclination to learn these things? There are companies which are really willing to hire freshers and provide the training, but then basically you need to have the aptitude for learning, and you should have some idea about what those courses are or how it is going to help. As Mr. Butt said, people should be able to analyze and use the data properly. So, uh, I would say put your efforts in improving your skills. There are many platforms like social media platforms where there are a lot of things happening in the industries. So have some idea about what these platforms are, how do they help, or how are you going to make use of these platforms to get into companies. Most of the hiring today happens through LinkedIn. It could be through Facebook also. So upgrade yourself. You could be using Facebook for your personal things, but then are you using it in the productive manner? Is it going to really help you? Just browsing the Facebook, is it going to fetch you a job, is something which you need to ask. So
So, so see, you're talking about skills. The same. I mean, probably the confluence, as I said. Mr. Bhatt is talking about skills and upgrading skills and communication skills and networking, and you're also talking about improving skills. So basically, this lockdown, we want to know what is it that you have learned. Have you been able to analyze yourself, trying to see where you fit in? So Shubha, with this, I think I want to ask you the next questions, which our students are eagerly waiting for. What is your expectation from a fresher?
Right. So when we hire fresher, first thing I would look at is there anything different in this person who has come for the interview? Normally what happens when we say a resume, it would just be their name, their education qualification, without any mention of their co-curricular activities. I would say I would be more interested if someone says, I have participated in an event in the college. I have been a leader, for a program, something like this. So basically, this gives us an idea about what the person is going to be when he's part of a team. Now, if you're part of some programs, definitely it throws your skills of handling, situations or managing teams. It may not be at the immediate moment, but yes, in the long run, is this person capable of handling these situations is what we try to judge. When I see somebody's resume, when I ask them about hobbies, I get the answers like, yes, sleeping is my hobby, or watching TV is my hobby. So yes, there are definitely better skills which one needs to possess. When you talk about reading books, tell the interviewer what kind of books do you read. Don't say you read some magazines or storybooks. Okay, tell them more about what kind of books attracts you. Why do you read such books? What do you learn from those books? uh, you know Talk about your life skills. It could be whatever it is. It's not just about reading. Your life skills, like basically you're interested in traveling, if you're interested in playing cricket or badminton, whatever it is. It gives a different perspective about the person. So at least I would be interested in knowing what the person has done extraordinarily.
So far, yes. Um, See, what I see is the demand has always been there, but then it's kind of shifted to other things. Okay, today we are more so looking at the future. Like today, if we hire somebody, is this person capable of moving in the future, moving up the ladder? Will the person stick onto it? Plus, I mean, we are more so looking at the attitude part of it rather than anything else. Is this person open to learning? Is this person willing to learn and change and mold to what the organization requires? So at this time, I want to come back to Mr. Bhatt and ask, so far, the training process has probably been different. So because of the pandemic times, because of COVID, has the training itself changed? Has the process itself changed? Have the topics changed?
Of course, topics, of course, it will change based on the need. Once again, see, any training for that matter, if there is no objective to it, there is no point in doing that. We are not doing any training for the sake of filling the calendar. For sure, most of the employers are not interested in that. I appreciate those employers. Okay. But the thing is, training process has been changed in a way, the kind of duration they are spending, because there is nothing called as full day training nowadays. Because asking them to sit in front of a computer or a Zoom camera for 8 hours, it's a nonsensical thing to do. It's a mad thing to do for me. I am speaking from my experience. I'm speaking from the way at which we have started conducting some of the programs now. It has to be in a small snippets now. 45 minutes to 1 hour, you should be able to convey what exactly you want to convey and start analyzing what's happening there. Maximum. And at the most 90 minutes, not more than that. That too with a break, with some activities. That may be a successful training model rather than making them to sit in front of a camera for 4 hours, because they will never be able to learn anything. That's what we have observed in some couple of cases. That's one. The second thing is, it has to be laser focused. The subject as well as the content has to be laser focused, because trainers are not able to observe their complete body language as of today because of the online presence. We are only communicating through facials, face to face communication, exactly which is happening. I don't know other things. Sometimes even they will switch off the camera. Then we are in much danger. So keeping that in mind, the process, one way, razor focused, limited time, focus on the subject, what you want to convey. It has to be straight, simple, precise with some events and games, followed by some of the exercise or some of the activities to be carried forward. So that will get connected to the next module. That will give them the better results. That's what I have observed in case of courses. The extensive use of technology is there as of today, no doubt about it.
So
Yeah.
that
Even future, there may be a day may come. Sorry,
exactly. I had the
sorry.
same
There
question.
may be a day even.
Do you see that remote
Yeah.
learning
Go
is going
ahead.
to be the future? I mean, will this go on? Will
Yes.
this remote learning be the future, and will it continue? Because I think what we should have expected in the next 3 years, we have done it in 3 months. Moving people from where they were to the digital
Yes.
platform, we've done it. So, do you think learning in the future is going to be quite digital, and remote learning is going to be the future?
Not only learning. Yeah. Not only learning, Mansi.
Mhm.
See, I still remember earlier working from home was an extra benefit or treated as luxury given to an employee. Okay. Now what happened? It has become a tool which has become a regular tool which every employer may have to adopt, especially from the IT background. Of course, manufacturing has got a different challenges altogether. That's one. This is going to be there. Online learning or the presence in learning is going to continue for a very long time. As I mentioned, it is going to be more focused now in going forward. There are many more tools. AI will come into picture. Your artificial intelligence may take over some of the programs itself. It was there already. Unfortunately, we are not using it. There were some online libraries are there, online video presentations were there, webinars were there, but we never used to, but we used to visit only YouTube, some talks. But whatever the module, what we have practiced since last 3 months will carry for several months or several years now going forward because of two reasons. One is convenience. The second thing is cost.
So, considering convenience and cost, Mr. Bhatts says that things will change, and actually things have changed, and it will continue to change. And of course,
Yes.
that there is artificial intelligence that's going to come into picture here as well, which means it's going to replace people. It might replace jobs for all that you know, and if you do not upskill to what you need to be, because AI is going to be
Yes.
there in every field. That's what is being predicted. So,
Yes.
in this
Yes.
context, Mr. Bhatt, I want to get back to you and ask. See, Mr. Bhatt talked about how the way coaching has changed, the process has changed, the way things are being done has changed. It's moved completely online. So, has the hiring process also changed because of the pandemic times? Are there changes in the processes, or are there changes in the way you conduct interviews, or the way you gauge people whether they're right for the
Uh, yes, definitely things have changed. It has become more of digital interviews, I would say now. We conduct, or most of the companies do the online interviews, and there are the psychometric test which would help companies to gauge a person for a particular role. So that probably would become the norm, because we may not be able to see the person physically, or I would say it could be what do you say, Zoom meetings or interviews, which could become a norm in the long run. uh, yeah but this may not be the norm for a long time either. So things are going to change, and we will definitely get back to what was there earlier also. So I would tell people to work on their personality development programs, and be ready for the opportunity.
I think with that, I want to, when you were saying that, see, Mr. Bhatt also mentioned that people are already working remotely, okay, especially the IT sector. If you're looking at Bangalore or anywhere in India for that matter, people have moved, and it's not just the IT sector. What I see is a lot of support staff also working from home, because it's mostly paperwork, documentation, and coordination. And with phones and Zoom calls, and with a printer at home, they're able to do a lot of things. So, do you think remote working would be the future? Because when I asked about the interviews, you said that we might get back to normal. But what about remote working? Do you think that's going to be the future?
Yes, at least probably, some of the roles. Say, for example, when you talk about IT, probably it could be like 75% of the workforce would continue to work from home. But there are, jobs like it could be e-commerce companies, or it could be the support functions where the working cannot be 100% work from home. Um, I would say it would be partially work from home. Say probably the norm would be like 3 days a week you work, and the remaining 3 days would be work from home, or you go to office and then you work from home. So things are going to change. It cannot be the same what was there earlier. So work from home could be a possibility in the long run for most of the positions.
Great. So,
Unless roles like say system admin, where they can't be at home, they have to come to office and support everyone. So probably roles like finance, where somebody's in the role of invoicing or preparing checks, those things cannot be done remotely.
perfect. I think when the lockdown started and when the entire world started shutting down, there was one quote that made rounds which said, "Now we will know which of those meetings could have just been an email." So I think with that quote in the
Right.
background, I think I want to move to Mr. Bhatt and ask him, according to you, do you think remote working will be the future? And I want to ask this in the context of you giving an advice to the batch, that 2020 batch and the 2021 batch. These are two batches that will have the brunt of the situation actually. So what is your advice to them?
Yeah. One is abreast about the latest technology, whatever it comes, uh, in terms of communication or the tools, what all the things are available. That's one, which I would like to say. And this is going to continue because it is not the new thing. For example, I was working with an MNC, US MNC, 5 years back. We are using all these facilities in our day-to-day administration also, because we are having 11 branches across India. I was heading all the 11 branches in terms of HR. I was the national head HR for them. I never used to visit the branches. We used to get connected through these online tools. So it was there. Only thing is we are thinking in a limited way. See, necessity is the mother of all invention. That's what we say. See, now it has become a necessity. We learned that lesson in a hard way. So it is going to continue. We have tasted that bit of it now. It is possible to do it in this way. Keeping that in mind, I think people will understand, yes, there is a way out of having these meetings or having these operations online with more effectiveness. The people are complaining, some of my clients also complaining about their productivity is being reduced. That's the myth in their mind as of now. As at the same time, it's only we are all in the stage of adoption now. We have not yet mastered. Once I think we got into the mastery stage of using these online tools, or as well as working from home, then I think we will be able to get into this, get hang of the working from home with the same efficiency whatever we are doing earlier.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So so
Am I
you
clear on that point?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, I think so. I think so. You are talking
Yeah.
about how
Yeah.
things will change and how they will work from home. So, if you have to talk to the
Yes.
students, those three things that you would tell this batch which is graduating right now, probably right now the exams are happening
Yes.
online, whosoever could, and they're taking it out. And they still
Hmm.
have probably a month of
Hmm.
recruitment process. They still have a month on hand to actually get themselves up to speed. So, what is the three things that you would like to tell them? Your
Yes.
three advices to them.
One, try to understand the expectation from the potential employers. Number one is try to understand the potential expectation from the employers, because education is not giving them the exact tools, exact things what the employer is expecting from them. The second, their attitude towards learning and going with the mindset, I am ready to contribute. Not that I'm going to get the salary, I'm going to contribute to this organization. That's why I told you at the beginning, it's all about your mindset. there are two kinds of people we will find. One is, I know everything, but I don't want to contribute. There is a second set of people, I don't know many things, but I'm ready to learn and contribute to the organization. My preference, definitely Mr. Shubha also may agree with me, that my preference will go with the second kind of people who are very ready to learn and do it. So go with that open mind to learn and contribute. That's the second important thing. The third important thing is, as I already mentioned, abreast about the latest technology, but focus on what you are doing. It's not that information available, you are getting into every information. Filter it out, which is relevant for you. Most of the time in my workshops, we conduct a workshop called as Campus to Career. In that, we'll train them for number of hours, what are the things they should focus on when they have to get selected, or what are the positions they are looking at. That focused approach is required. It cannot be weird about it. Third, last one before I end, one more thing is, don't abuse the social media, effectively use it. We are in the habit of abusing the social media as of today. We are using Facebook and LinkedIn as my some other property which I can use it, throw it, use it whenever I want. No, that's abusing. Use it effectively. Be careful when you are liking something or disliking something or putting your comments. Focus on what you want to become. Based on that, you start do your activity in social media also. Otherwise, nowadays we are not asking for the CVs. Most of the cases we are asking for the LinkedIn link. Instead of asking for the profile from the candidate, some of the candidates, we are asking, just send me the link that is sufficient for me to gauge you, what kind of person you are. So these are all the things they have to keep it in our mind. Especially for the students of today, they are very fast. They can grasp anything and come out. But grasp the things which are required, have the filter of what is required for today, and focus on that. That will be the winning formula for them. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Shubha, I have this question to you now, considering that, we're talking about the coach talking about, how they are going to use social media. So from an HR perspective, how important is social media, especially LinkedIn? You've already mentioned that LinkedIn and Facebook, that's where people go for hiring, and they also look for people on this platform. So how important is LinkedIn in a hiring process? What exactly do you look for in that?
Um, Yeah, see, LinkedIn is a platform where a lot of companies do give, the description of the jobs. So my suggestion for the freshers is, whatever role you're looking at, there are a lot of companies which keep, advertising. So look at the skill set, what the companies require. Improve upon those skills. Probably you may have the skill or you may not have the skill. If you have the skill, see how do you, improve the skill. If you don't possess a skill, there are a lot of online courses which are available now free of cost. Make yourself employable, in the time what we are going through. You should become a person, a unique person, with the skills required for any position. So use the platform wisely. Be prepared. Things are going to change with the Make in India movement that we are having now. There are going to be a lot of opportunities for Indians. So keep the hope and be prepared. I would say this is the time to sharpen your skills and be ready for it.
So in this context, I think I've read about a lot of tools that the HR people use to see if the profile matches your requirements or not, especially on social media. So there are instances where you've got a candidate who's extremely good in terms of skills. They have done the certifications that's required. They possess the skills, not only as freshers or as people who've been there in the industry for 2 to 3 years, that kind of an experience. But when you actually look at their profile, and then you look at the tools which does the sentiment analysis as well, and the kind of content they put up on their profiles, that definitely has an impact on the hiring process. My question to you is that, is it true that it is something that actually impacts the hiring process? Is it something that you look forward to, the kind of content they push out, the kind of content they publish on their social media platforms, irrespective of their skills? Is that something that HR also looks for in the process?
Yes, content wise, I would say nowadays, at least the trend is most of the people just copy paste whatever is available in the internet. So when we ask them few questions based on that content, they don't even know what is written or why is it written. So my suggestions to all youngsters is, please don't get into the job of copy pasting something which you are not even aware of. Write something which you are good at and which you genuinely can endorse when you are questioned on that particular skill. So uh, yeah, so don't just follow something which is done by everybody. Be unique and do something different, and that will definitely help you become a better person as well.
Perfect. I think the two unique individuals here today have discussed on how things are going to change in the future, and what exactly are they looking for. From a HR perspective, not much has changed in terms of asking people to know whether they have the right skills and whether they have the attitude to learn, plus the fact that will they stick with the organization and are they willing to learn enough to grow in the organization and lead a team. So that's what they're focusing on. I think that was also the focus before the COVID-19 era, and that focus is going to continue. But the one thing that's definitely going to change for everybody who are going to graduate or who are looking for jobs is, do you know technology or technical platforms that help you to work remotely from wherever you are? That's something that both the individuals have actually emphasized on, both from a HR perspective and from a coaching perspective. So I just want to thank Ms. Shubha, and I'm sorry, Mr. Bhatt, I think he dropped off because of network issues. So thank you so much, Ms. Shubha, and thank you so much, Mr. Bhatt, for those valuable inputs. I think that was really important. This 30 minutes gave away everything that our people wanted. Oh, Mr. Bhatt is back. So thank you so much, Mr.
Yeah.
Bhatt, for coming on board. Thanks so much, Shubha, for sparing this time. I think this was valuable feedback for anybody who's looking for a job, both as a fresher or as an experienced person during this COVID-19 era. So remember that both of them are talking about upgrading your skills from a technical point of view, and to look at the future and align with the future of what skills are expected and how unique can you get. So if you're the only one, very obviously you will be recruited. So the question is, how unique are you? With this, I think we will wind up for today. Yes, Mr. Bhatt. Yes, please.
Yeah, before end, thank you very much. Thanks, Shubha, for some of the insights. Be genuine is the one fundamental thing. Whatever you are doing, be genuine. Understand your USP before going for any interview. What's their unique selling proposition within you? The third thing is, express yourself as if you don't know everything. And I'm telling in another way around. Every candidate don't have to know everything under this sky. If you don't know, have the guts to say, I don't know, but I'm ready to learn and contribute. I think these are all the small things will make that candidate a winning candidate, whether it is today or tomorrow or even after 10 years. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Shubha, Madam Shubha, for this wonderful insight.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatt.
Thank you, Mansi, for wonderful
Mansi,
questions.
can I just add one thing here?
Yes, please.
Do I have time?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Right.
please.
So, see, what happens is, right, the opportunities are limited in the current scenario. But whenever there is an opportunity which is available, I would, always tell the people to know, to put some effort in knowing what company are they applying for, what is the role that is required. Learn more about that company, because when we question them in the interview, the first thing I get to hear is they would not have gone through the company website. They don't even know what company it is, what are the products the company is selling. Why have they applied for a job? Nothing is known to the candidates. So my suggestion is, please don't do the mistake of not going through the company website. There are a lot of sites which tell you about the company. It could be Glassdoor, it could be LinkedIn. So please go through those things.
Ambition box is another one now.
Yes, prepare your set of questions pertaining to the role that you are applying for. So that would make the interview much more interesting. When the candidate also has a lot of things that he is aware of.
Wow, I think
That's my input for the freshers.
perfect, perfect. I think that's two fantastic tips that we got, and the most important tips that we got as we were just about to wind up. So, thank you so much for that important tip. Thanks, Mr. Bhatt, and thank you so much, Ms. Shubha. We'll wind up with that for the day. So, if you want to get in touch with us, please get in touch with us on thinkshala@gmail.com. We are also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter as Thinkshala. You can find us there. If you have questions, you could actually leave it down here with the comment section, or you could also write to us on this. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Bhatt and Ms. Shubha. And I want to thank Smita, who enabled this entire interview, putting together this webinar. And I also want to thank Mr. Prashant for ensuring that this really went well. He actually did the background work on how this flow must be. So thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.
Thanks, Nancy. It was
All of
great
you,
interacting.
perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Stay
much.
safe. Thank you so much.
My best wishes to all the students. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.